Good evening. I'm Dr. Mike Middleman, president of Salus University, and I'd like to welcome everybody to the 14th annual Looking Out for Kids charity fundraiser. You might notice we're in a little bit different venue than we are normally. The pandemic really has thrown everything for a loop, as most people know, and our Looking Out for Kids charity has not been spared. But thanks to the wonderful work of our staff here at Salus University, Alexis Abate, Jackie Patterson, Rick Echeverria, and others, we're able to bring this to you live stream right from the Hafter Student Community Center on our beautiful Elkins Park campus. So I thank you everybody for joining us. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank our very, very generous sponsors. Without our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. Our title sponsors this evening are National Vision and TD Bank. And you're going to hear a little bit from both of them in a few minutes. We also have several other sponsors. I'd like to acknowledge our gold sponsors, Cooper Vision, Lindy Communities, My Eye Doctor, and Star Surgical. Once again, without your help, Looking Out for Kids and the services that we're able to bring to these kids throughout our region would never be able to happen. You know, for decades, Looking Out for Kids has been in the Philadelphia public schools. One of my colleagues, Dr. Sue Olszewski, really was the key to getting this off the ground 20 plus years ago. Today, Looking Out for Kids provides services not only in Philadelphia, but in Montgomery, in Delaware, in Chester counties, in Norristown, throughout our region. The whole goal of Looking Out for Kids is to assure that underserved children who don't have access to optometric care, can get good eye care so that we can get their lives off to a good start. 80% of what children learn comes through their vision. And so we need to make sure that they see well, they're working as efficiently as they can. And through your generous donations and through the donations of our sponsors and everyone else, we have been able to provide these services throughout. We see about 6,000 kids every year. This year, a little bit less simply because of the pandemic. But because this van behind me was able to get out, sometimes a lot more slowly than we'd like it to, we've been able to serve children. Actually, we did it with the local YMCA this year in the local area, just to assure that we got these services out there. Once these kids are able to come to our screenings, we're able to ascertain whether or not they need a comprehensive eye exam. If they do, we bring them to our state-of-the-art facility at the Eye Institute, where our world-class team of optometric students and optometric clinical faculty care for them and to see what they need. If they need glasses, the charity allows them to get 2 free pair of glasses, one they take home and one they bring to school. So it's a fantastic service that changes the lives of these kids. Most recently, we have added audiology services, so we're doing hearing screenings as well. And so that means we're able to provide hearing aids for children who might need them also. And by the way, this all costs money. And with your help, we're able to provide these services. So at this point, I'd like to introduce Mr. Reed Foss. Reed is not only a good friend, he's a member of our board of trustees here at Salus University. Reed's been on the board since 2017. I almost said 1917, Reed, and I know you're listening. He's not quite that old. National Vision is one of the largest and fastest growing enterprises, optical retailers in the country. Under Reed's leadership, they have done just astounding things all around to assure that the American public is getting the appropriate eye care that they need. We share a lot of things together in our ethics and in the way we provide services. Our values are common. Reed's going to talk about that in a little bit. One of the things that Reed has really concentrated on is making National Vision a public health service. And that means providing eyeglasses to the population very cost effectively. So without Reed's help, we really would not have been able to do a lot of the things that we do. So with that, let me introduce you to Reed Foss.
Good evening, Salus and friends. As a board member and big fan of the Salas family, I'm honored to be able to address you all on this most unique evening. How I wish we were all gathered together in person right now in Philadelphia. And my wife Katie is particularly saddened. She has especially fond memories of this event since last year when she won the raffle. National Vision has always been proud to be associated with Salas and is pleased to sponsor tonight's event again this year. National Vision and Salas share what I'll call 3 pillars of common values. The first pillar of common values is devotion to quality health care and patient care. In our world at National Vision, that means optometric care. For Salas, it's a much broader definition that includes audiology, speech pathology, occupational therapy, physician assistants, and more. The second pillar of common values is devotion to advancements of the professions that we work in. Quite simply, Salas creates healthcare leaders. At National Vision, 70% of the optometric leadership roles are held by Salas PCO grads. Beyond our internal team, one of the most respected optometric global leaders in the cause of getting eyeglasses to the world's poor, and thus one of our favorite partners, is Dr. Kovin Nadu, PCO class of 1995. Few people living today have done as much for improving the vision of the world's poor as Dr. Nadu. Additionally, there's Dr. Daryl Glover, who holds 2 degrees from Salas, who co-founded Black Eye Care Perspectives to advance the cause of people of color in optometry. Hearing Dr. Glover speak about the impact Salas's summer enrichment program had on his career trajectory and that of others was a key influence in our decision to become the sole sponsor of Salas's summer enrichment program for the next 5 years. Hopefully, the return of this program will once again play a large role in increasing the number of Black, Indigenous people of color in the optometric profession. And finally, the third pillar of common values that we at National Vision share with Salas is devotion to serving low-income and uninsured patients who would not have access to healthcare services were it not for programs like Looking Out for Kids, the Eye Clinic, and were it not for programs like our National Vision Cares program. As we've learned tonight, Looking Out for Kids helps over 6,000 people annually when there's not a global pandemic on. The Eye Clinic helps over 40,000 patients annually. And our National Vision Cares program helps over 25,000 people in America, and our international programs and partnerships help hundreds of thousands of people annually. But tonight is all about the kids of Philadelphia. Hopefully, due to all of our efforts and generosity here tonight, Salas will be able to help ever more Philly kids in the years to come to be able to see better and thus fully achieve their potential. Congratulations to all of the big-hearted people in the Salas community whose values we share and admire. You are an inspiration to all of us. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you, Reed. I wish you and Katie were here with us as well, but we appreciate you taking the time, and more importantly, we appreciate your dedication to the university and everything that you've done. So it is now my distinct privilege and honor to present our 5th annual Lighthouse Award. This year, we are honoring TD Bank. Since 2014, TD Bank has been a true partner with our foundation. Over these last few years, they have donated $74,000 to the Looking Out for Kids Norristown Foundation. They're being honored this evening for their multi-decade commitment to vision care, youth development, and helping Norristown children excel in the Norristown School District. They're committed to improving lives, and they truly have been a beacon of light. Now let's look at a little video to show you some of our services in the area.
Launched in 2007, the Looking Out for Kids program addresses the needs of underserved and disadvantaged children in the local community. Since its inception, Vision services and eyeglasses have been provided to children in Philadelphia schools, expanding in 2013 to include the Norristown Area School District and more recently with the Mobile Care Unit in Montgomery and Delaware County schools. If needed, children receive 2 pairs of glasses, one for home and one for school. With approximately 15% of school-aged children experiencing some degree of hearing loss, the program has expanded to provide hearing screenings as well, with portions of the funds used for the Hearing Aid Loaner Bank, which are provided to children while they wait to receive their own device. By providing complimentary vision and hearing services, Salus University and the Looking Out for Kids initiative is making a difference in the lives of those children it serves. With your generosity, we can continue to help change the lives of thousands of school children in Philadelphia and the surrounding counties this year and beyond.
It is my pleasure now to present the Lighthouse Award to Mr. Jeff Brandon, who is representing TD Bank, but also has grown up in Norristown. Jeff?
Thank you, Dr. Middleman. It is an absolute privilege and honor for me to be here tonight representing my colleagues at TD Bank, many of whom are watching at home tonight, and also our market president, Tom Shoemaker. On their behalf and on mine, thank you for this prestigious honor. We're very, very grateful. When the team at Salus told us that we were going to be honored in this manner, I thought back quickly to how we initially connected with Looking Out for Kids, and it goes back to the end of 2013. Interestingly, I was at a not-for-profit event for another charitable agency, and I ran into Helmuth Bearwald, the retired township manager in East Norriton, and Helmuth knew I was a Norristown guy, and he said, "Do you know anything about this program that Salus University and the Eye Institute are working with Norristown kids on eye care and glasses?" I said, "I don't, Helmuth, but I'm happy to listen." And so he quickly connected me to Dr. Sue Olszewski. And Dr. Sue immediately engaged in a dialogue about the critical need for students in the Norristown community. It was her passion and enthusiasm for this project that resonated with me, both personally and professionally. I grew up in the borough of Norristown. I'm a graduate of Norristown schools, and I have direct knowledge of the critical need in that community. And so we quickly engaged the TD Charitable Foundation and identified a nexus for programmatic support for Looking Out for Kids. And I'm thrilled to say that we continue that support today. And I can't imagine that it could have been any more critical than the period over the last 12 months as students everywhere were struggling with the challenges of learning remotely and otherwise, and that you've continued this program and continue to help children in need both in the Norristown community and around the Delaware Valley, in Philadelphia and other places is truly heroic. We are absolutely thrilled to play just a small part in the success of Looking Out for Kids, and we're humbled by this recognition. We're very, very grateful. Thank you so much.
Congratulations again. So it is now my pleasure to introduce Rosemary Connors. Rosemary has been a part of the Salus family for well over 6 or 7 years. She actually has hosted this event for the last 6 years. As many of you know, Rosemary is an Emmy Award-winning anchor and reporter for NBC 10. A few weeks ago, we all went out to Our Lady of Port Richmond School to talk to kids about the Looking Out for Kids program, who received glasses from this mobile unit behind me. One of the few times we got it out without having to crank it up a couple of times. Well, needless to say, Rosemary really is somebody special. The neatest thing is to watch Rosemary work with the kids. She has a knack for interviewing children, making them feel at ease, much like our doctors and our students do when they're examining these kids. So without any further ado, take it away, Rosemary.
Dr. Middleman, thank you so much for including me in such an incredible event. We may be virtual tonight, but you and I had the opportunity recently to visit a local school where this fundraiser is truly making a difference.
All right, Addison, the next part of the exam, we're going to take a look inside your eye. So I want you to come on forward.
It has all the equipment you'd find in a doctor's office, but this eye exam is happening on the road. A free mobile clinic for kids across the area provided by Salus University. Today's stop, Our Lady of Port Richmond in Philadelphia.
Third row, and it looks like a monkey.
A monkey's popping out?
For fourth grader Colby Sparks and his 13-year-old sister Addison, getting this checkup is a reminder of what their vision used to be like before the clinic first came to their school 2 years ago.
It was all normal to kind of see it blurry, and then once I got the glasses, it fixed it.
I didn't have glasses before, and I got the glasses, and I could see everything. Like everything far, everything close.
Being able to see clearly has made Addison a better student.
I would always have to really squint, and I was always behind, and sometimes I barely got notes.
80% of what they learn comes through their eyes. And unless they're seeing well, and a lot of times they don't know it, they're really at a disadvantage.
Dr. Michael Middleman, Salus University's president, tells me now more than ever in this pandemic, as students are stuck behind screens, this mobile clinic is necessary. But the van is on its last legs.
This van is 20 years old, and this year we've really put it through the paces. So this year our Looking Out for Kids charity is concentrating on raising the money to replace this van.
Salus University's annual charity fundraiser keeps the clinic rolling, which also provides kids with 2 free pairs of glasses, one for home and one for school.
Take a look through here. You like those?
It's a good outlook all the way around.
And that's what this is all about. It's really giving these kids that chance to excel.
To have a bright future. In Port Richmond, I'm Rosemary Connors, NBC 10 News.
Thank you, Rosemary, for being our Looking Out for Kids cheerleader and helping us each year spread the word about this program. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Jackie Patterson. I'm the Vice President of Institutional Advancement and Community Relations. And I have the pleasure of introducing my former colleague and volunteer, Kate Bramer. Welcome.
Thank you, Jackie.
And today we're going to talk a little bit more about the bus and what our need is, what we're going to fundraise for tonight. So I'd like to call 2 guests up. I'd like to call Dr. Brandy Scombordi-Ragu, and I'd like to call Kathy Muir.
Thank you so much for joining us. Come on down. Hi, hello, welcome, welcome. Dr. Scombordi-Ragu and Kathy Muir, we're so happy to have you here. Dr. Scombordi, you're the director of our School Vision program.
Correct.
And Kathy, you are our former coordinator of our School Vision program and have a longtime supporter and worker of this program. So thank you so much. And again, thank you to Rosemary and NBC 10 and all of our sponsors. And thanks for having me back. I'm happy to be here with the team for a cause I care so much about. And clearly there's a need, and let's learn a little more about it from the folks who are delivering the program on a day-to-day basis. And again, just happy to be here and nice to be with colleagues and feel safe. So thanks all for having us. So if you could tell us more, Brandy, what has it been like operating during the pandemic?
It's been a little bit difficult operating during the pandemic, mainly because of keeping social distance, just like everyone else in their everyday lives, and disinfecting, having the proper PPE or protective personal equipment to keep us safe and keep the students that we're serving safe. We also have time restraints of how long someone can be in the RV and issues like that came up that we just never had 2 years ago.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what will having a new School Vision bus mean for you and for the program?
A School Vision bus is going to make a big difference for us for many reasons, because this bus, it is 20 years old and she looks very pretty on the outside, but she's getting old on the inside and she needs some work. She's a great team member and she really is a labor of love. But we need new equipment, as you can see in the video in front of you. We need some higher tech equipment. We need some things to make our job a little bit easier and more efficient.
And it sounds like with the different size of the bus, you'll be able to access some different schools?
So that's been coming up a lot this year because there's a lot more need. And so we are needed to go out into different areas that we didn't always go to in the past. And the streets are smaller in old cities such as Philadelphia and Norristown. And this big bus just doesn't make it down those tiny old streets. So we're looking to make it a little bit smaller and a little bit more up to date.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that. And Kathy, if I could turn it over to you, you've been providing the services for years, and you are also very thankfully, and we are so grateful, a very generous donor for this effort and getting us almost to our goal. So again, thank you for that support. Could you speak to what inspired you to give to this?
Yes, I have been in my life very lucky.
If you have read the article that's on the Salis webpage, you'll know that I was born into optometry. Both my grandmother and my father worked in optometry before me. They say if you do something you love, you will never work a day in your life. The thing is that I worked pretty hard. I loved it, and at the same time, we all worked with a purpose. I could see my grandmother in the practice working with patients and what that was all about. I saw my father as the controller and the registrar at the colleges of optometry in California, working with the students, trying to get them good education and trying to fund their educations. And with that background, I came here, combined those. I've been very lucky to work with really, really good people. After I retired, as I said in the article, this opportunity just landed in my lap. And I have loved being on the van. I have loved being in Norristown at the schools and working with the kids and the doctors. I've been lucky. The kids have not been so lucky, a lot of the kids that we worked with. You know, I've got the kid that you've seen in the pictures of me on the website and other places. That little boy came in and couldn't say his name. And when I put the glasses on, he then said, I said, who is that? And he said, Timmy. So he could then suddenly talk. I have a fourth grader who looked out the window with her new glasses, and I thought she'd say something about leaves on the trees. And she said, wow, look at the cars. And we had a high school girl who had been a couple of years without glasses. And she said, wow, I feel like I've been missing out on life. I've been there for those kids who need us. And we need a new van in order to be able to get out and provide that care to them.
Well,
Thank you, Kathy.
Kathy made my job really easy. We're sitting here trying to hold our tears back. Thank you, Kathy, for your generous donation. Thank you for everything you've done. We really appreciate it.
Years of work, both of you. Thank you so much. It's clear that we have a need, and thank you for continuing to care at the utmost level, as we know that the Eye Institute and the Ear Institute and all of our facilities are able to provide. Thank you so much for your work during this past year and continued support.
We are a team.
Absolutely.
We are a team.
Thank you.
And all of you are part of our team as well. So
it's clear there's a need. I know we have a goal tonight. We have a goal of $15,000.
$15,000. Now, where are we on the thermometer? Can I see that?
Let's see where we are.
11,180. I see a number of you have already donated. I have Keith Ignatz.
We've got Marie Moreau-Moriarty, we've got Dr. Minhas, we've got Sarah Mitchell, Dr. Middleman, Mike Moore, Jean Marie Pagani. So many of you are generously giving.
Yes, we have Fund Needs coming in. We have $1,000 from Shannon Torno and $500 from Christopher Desi. Jeffrey Nyman, Dr. Jeffrey Nyman gave in honor of Dr. O, $500.
That was wonderful.
Amazing. Dr. Lane Higa also wanted to comment on Alicia being a vital member of the team.
Absolutely.
And that's amazing as well, giving a donation there. So Fund Needs are coming through.
I also want to just acknowledge that, as Kathy mentioned, there is a whole team behind Brandy. I also want to shout out to Elena, Alicia. Thank you, Steve, Lee. Thank you very much. Drives the bus, puts Band-Aids on the bus. Keeps it going. So right now, we need help to bring in that extra 2,500 or so.
We made it past 12,000. We're at 12,000. Oh my gosh, we're almost at 13,000. We are seeing it come in. We are so grateful. Let's start it off. See if we can get some $1,000 donors.
I think it's worth it. 1,000 will go a very long way. We also are fundraising for our hearing program, the Pennsylvania Ear Institute. $1,000 would pay for hearing aid technology for a young child, if you remember last year. So this is very critical. So I'm hoping that we can get a couple of $1,000. I really think that 15,000 is too low. We should have just pushed this up a little bit.
Well,
we should exceed it.
Oh, we've passed $15,000.
I'm really excited.
We're at 15,380.
Thank you.
Let's push it. Let's see if we can get to 20. Let's just see. Let's see.
All right. So what are we going to talk about?
Well, you know, clearly we have the need, as you've seen. The bus is gorgeous. Let's get it as gorgeous on the inside as it is on the outside. We have the team to support it. Now we need the facility, and I think we have more gifts coming in right now.
We do. We have more gifts. You have an announcement for us, Alexis?
So Dr. Middleman and his wife Tanish just gave $1,000.
Oh, thank you,
nice.
thank you. We're at 16,530. We are blowing our goal out of the water. Let's keep it going. Any other takers for 1,000? Come on in. You can do this by texting LOFK to 76278 and confirming your amount. We could not do this without you. This continued work is
Dr.
important
Coyne.
work. Dr. Coyne, thank you. John Gal, we've Maura Keenan. We've got some gifts coming in and continuing to. Should we bring it down to
500?
500.
That would pay for a bus drive.
That is what it takes to take this bus out for one day to one school. $500.
We go to over 60 schools in the school district of Philadelphia alone.
We're almost at $18,000.
We should
We're at
hit 20.
$17,009. What do we have here?
And Jeff Brandon is doing $500.
Oh, thank you.
We
Oh,
really
that is
appreciate
terrific.
it.
Oh my God, we've just broken 20. 20,640. We are doing great. Let's keep it going. Let's bring it down from 500 to 125.
Now that pays for
120.
120. So that pays for an eye exam and up to 2 pairs of glasses. So every child that goes home that's examined by Brandy and her team, they also get 2 pairs of glasses, one for home and one for school. I can tell you that Brandy just told me this story in Chester. There was a student, 17, homeless, living out of his car. He got accepted to a college. And she told me that his car was broken into, so his only pair of glasses was taken, and he couldn't see. I think she mentioned his vision was -3. But he was still going to school, even though it was very difficult for him to see. So I have to thank Brandy, I'm your biggest fan for you and the whole team, because really what you're doing is really helping kids learn.
I mean, they can't reach their potential if they can't see the board. And we want everybody to be able to reach their potential.
I know.
And there's a lot of work to do here in Philly and the surrounding area, Montgomery, Chester, Delaware counties, and we are doing that work. So for $120, you can fund an eye exam and 2 pairs of glasses for $120.
So let's go down, because really we'll take any amount right now at this
we
point.
are so
any amount,
appreciative of
anything
your
that you
support.
can provide.
$50, $25. If you text LOFK to 76278. 76278. You can confirm the amount by texting them. We are almost at $24,000. Every amount helps.
Somebody help us get to 24,000, please.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We can go back to networking.
$325.
We're very close.
Let's get there to 24,000. We are so close.
We are so close.
Every amount helps. Check out the live, the auction.
Yes. So the live, well, it's not a live auction, but it's silent auction.
Check out the auction. I'm excited.
We close it tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yes. There's still time. There's a Cancun house.
I'm going to Cancun.
Well, good luck, because Jackie's trying to go for it.
I'm trying, but I don't know. Keith Ignox, our board member, he donated
Thank you to all of our donors, all of our silent auction items.
Thank you to our board members
and artists and board members, everyone who's donating.
I have to single out my institutional advancement team. I have to thank every one of them. They have been great, and they have not yelled back at me. They have done everything I've asked them to do, so I want to say I really appreciate you, especially Olivia Swigger. I couldn't have done it without you. You've done a great job, so thank you, Olivia.
Thanks, Olivia. And we just broke $24,000. Great job. Oh, my goodness. We are so thrilled.
Dr. Middleman,
thank you, everyone, for your support. Could not do it without you.
You got to follow that act.
How do I follow that act? Well, wow, you guys are amazing. And you people out there who have been giving, you're more amazing. Kathy, I lost you in the crowd back here, but you are amazing. You just personify what looking out for kids is all about. And without your help in particular, and others, but especially what you've just recently done in support of the van, you're going to help us get to the end. It's people like Kathy Moore, like Brandy, like all of the staff here at Salis that make this happen. So I can't thank all of you. I'd like to see that number get to 25,000. We got $300 more. So let's get there. So on behalf of everybody here at Salis University, Looking Out for Kids, I want to thank everybody for your support and really just for taking care of the kids that we really have been trying to care for the last 20 or so years. I want to remind you that the auction, the silent auction, is going to be online until 9 in the morning. So I suggest that you're strategic. Stay up till midnight, watch the things, and then about 8:30 in the morning, make your final bids. Because we want to make lots of money here. There's some neat stuff on there, and all the donors who have put things on that auction, really we appreciate that as well. So with that, I'm going to say adieu. We really appreciate your joining us for our first virtual Looking Out for Kids. At this rate, we may do this again like this next year. This has been so successful. Thanks again for joining us. Have a good evening.